What's up guys, it's the top 10 transfers of the week, and this week's a pretty good week for transfers. I'd say it's been a really good rounded week for some high rated players on Ultimate Team of course, and some silver players that will develop into some really good players in the upcoming years. So obviously this week's transfers are from the 23rd to the 30th of June, so let's get into number 10, and it is Button. He's gone from Manchester United to Dynamo Moscow for 4.4 million. I'd say that's a pretty good price for him. He's got some pretty good stats on his normal card, and I think he will be downgraded quite a bit as Moscow aren't the biggest of clubs, and he didn't really have the best of time at United. He only played like 13 times, so didn't have the best of game time, so hopefully he can do a lot better at Dynamo Moscow. I do kind of rate him as a player. I think he'd do quite well there, and hopefully he can get some first team football. Next up we do have Luke Shaw. He's gone from Southampton to Manchester United for 27 million, and I've upgraded his card to 77 rated. I think that's fair, maybe 76 rated. I think the stats are a little bit too high. I made it like his team of the season card and then just upgraded his stats a little bit more, so they are quite high upgraded, so I think he will be around the 76-77 mark. I think that's a fair rating for Luke Shaw. Next up we do have Vidra. He's gone from Udinese to Watford on loan, and hopefully he does quite well at Watford because he was there before and he scored like 20 goals in 40 games, so if he can repeat what he did a couple of seasons back, that'd be absolutely incredible. I've downgraded some of his stats because he didn't do the best at West Brom this season, so hopefully in the Championship he can do a little bit better. Next up we do have Michael Kiteley. He's gone from Stoke to Burnley. I couldn't quite find how much he's gone for, so I'll just put it undisclosed of course, and I've kept his rating the same, but I've upgraded some of his stats overall, most of them by 3, some of them by 2, and left his pace the same because he's getting a little bit older now and probably won't develop in the pace department, but I think he will be a 74 rated silver card. I don't think there will be many gold Burnley players. Next up we do have Jake Livermore. He's gone from Tottenham to Hull for 8 million. I'd say that's a pretty good price, especially when he's only 24 at the moment, and I think he should be upgraded to a gold next year. I think those stats on his card are pretty fair for how well he did last year, and a 76 rated isn't that unrealistic, especially when Charles Nzonzi, the Stoke centre defensive mid, has got the same rating and some similar stats. Next up we do have Sasha Aretha. He's gone from Fulham to Freiburg. Obviously he doesn't want to play in the Championship, and he's probably on quite high wages, I don't know really, but for 31 age player, I think that's a pretty good move for him, and hopefully he does well in the Bundesliga next season. Next up we do have Robert Snodgrass. He's gone from Norwich to Hull. He's been at Norwich for quite a while, I believe. He was at Leeds before. He's one of those players that go from Leeds to Norwich and then just leave because he just doesn't really suit the Norwich way, so hopefully he does really well for Hull next season. It'll be interesting to see where they play him because normally they do play 5 at the back. Maybe they're going to play 3 at the back and bail him as a more advanced player in the right hand side. Next up we do have Fernando. He's gone from Porto to Manchester City, one of the bigger transfers this week, and I think his stats have been upgraded fairly, and some of them a little bit too much. Maybe his dribbling went up a little bit. I haven't really seen him play, but I think an 81 rated card will be perfectly fine for a £12 million move to Manchester City. Next up we do have Herrera. He's gone from Atletico Bilbao to Manchester United for 30 million pretty much, and I've upgraded his stats pretty fairly. It's basically what his Inform card was, and I basically upgraded a little bit more because he is 82 rated. I think that's a fair rating for him, especially when he probably will be playing week in week out football for United next season. And the final player this week is Gomis. He's gone from Lyon to Swansea on a free, and it's interesting to see whether Swansea can keep a hold of Bony and Michu. I think Michu's on the way out. I think he's going to Napoli. I'm not quite sure, but we'll have to see in the upcoming weeks. But I think for a free transfer, this guy is going to be absolutely fantastic in the Prem next year. He's got some really good stats. I think he scored about 22 goals last year in the Ligue 1, so we'll have to see how many he can score on the Barclays Premier League for Swansea. It'll be interesting to see if they do play Bony and Gomis or play him as a backup striker. We'll have to see in the upcoming weeks, but I upgraded him by 1 rating because he did do a pretty good goal to goal ratio last year. So yeah, if you did enjoy this episode, it would be fantastic if you could smash the like button, subscribe if you're on your channel, and see you soon.